Piper with the weekend video, and it's Saturday the 9th of September. I'm starting with a chart of pound dollar. I thought I'd go back over the price action since around 2007, so we get a picture of the current trade. We saw this major peak around the $2.12 level, a clear ABC decline down to there. Right, we then saw this slightly confused correction, which had a triangle in the middle of it. So we had an A, B, C. So that was the B wave completed. We'll now go back up to this peak above $1.70. So I'll expand the chart. All right, so from the peak here, we had a 1 and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a fourth wave is now coming in before we see the final fifth wave of this C move. I mean, I'm talking with a sort of certain positive attitude. These things don't always work out the way you want, but that's basically the look of this pattern. We've got an A, B, C here, a B here, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's a good case at this peak here, which we saw recently, in fact, on the 3rd of August, when the TPA sent out the signal, is in fact the peak of 4. Let's go down a leg now. Right, we then saw this peak, initial clear 5-wave decline. All looked pretty good at that point. Then we went sideways, and this ABC, or 4, 5, came in. So as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it counts okay. Everything was going really well until we shot up way beyond. At this point, we had an ABC, but we've actually gone shooting up higher, and obviously this peak here is now in doubt. At this point, we really need to see more action. I did take some small shorts, put the stop above, I think just about there at the moment. So maybe we'll get stopped out. If it keeps on going down from here, if we see a more meaningful decline, then I'll be looking to add to that position going forward. But right now, the position is in some doubt, I think it's fair to say, and remains to be seen how the market decides to react. All right, on to gold, which is doing rather nicely, and probably helped by the weaker dollar, which isn't helping my pound-dollar position. A lot of what I do these days really is just capital allocation. I have too much sterling in the sense that I need to diversify out of sterling, so hence the move into gold over the years. Hence, I bought dollars yesterday, as I mentioned to subscribers. That was not a trade. That was just a switch from sterling into dollars. And I guess Bitcoin as well. I mean, the Bitcoin started off with a very small amount. It's now grown quite a lot. And Bitcoin's falling back, and there are always rumors that central banks will attack Bitcoin, as they are. For one problem apparently is they're funding terrorist activity, which of course the fiat currencies have been funding for the last God knows how many years. It's quite curious actually what the central banks will say in order to try and darken Bitcoin's name. And generally everything they say they've been doing themselves far worse for many years, and devaluing the currencies, obviously, which is one of the big problems we face. And I think we are kind of getting to a tipping point, as I mentioned before. And I think that tipping point will start to slide, certainly within the next 12 months or so. Anyway, looking at the gold charts, I still remain positive here. We have this, what I call a one wave. Now I've got a very clear ABC here. There's a similarity in terms of price and time. I haven't done the precise Fibonacci relationships, but you have a good ratio. So I don't like the idea that this is actually just a B wave with a C wave to come, because it'll mean there's a much bigger correction. It does happen. It's certainly not impossible. I just don't. I prefer this count at the moment. We count here 1, 2, 3 up to there. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 3. Then 4, and then a fifth wave. Create that as 1 of this move. We've got an A, B, C, 2 of this move, and now we're in wave 3. So it's quite a decent count, and we've got no sign of it stopping just yet. Obviously, the key resistance level is around here, just below 1380. I think 1375 was the level, which we're getting quite close to now. I mean, clearly this can be viewed as an ABC. There's some similarity now between the A wave and the C wave. So rather like pound dollar, actually, we have got the same kind of uncertainty. I'll be fairly quick to take profits if if we start to turn tail here. Let's go down and have a look at the latest rally. All right, well, my count here is obviously the low was there, so this is a wave 3 coming in. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now I think actually what we're seeing here is a 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3 coming in. So that's the third wave. I would expect a fourth wave decline, which may now have started, in fact. 1, 2, 3 maybe. And what I'm looking for is contained corrections right here. What I don't want to see is dramatic sell-off. So right now, 1325 is a key level on this count. If this move here goes where 1325 will suggest the count will be revising, and it will increase the chance that we're actually going to see a bigger correction at this time. If we don't see a move below 1325, then we're going to go higher again to complete this 3. And then we've still got a couple of 4s and 5s to come in. So the rally could be with us for a little bit longer. Obviously, there will be a bigger correction coming in, but it will only be another fourth wave before the fifth wave. So there's quite a lot of potential here. With 1325 the key level, but I'd advise caution. Obviously, if spread betting, you want to use tighter stops. If you're looking at this as an investment strategy, then you want to be more relaxed. As obviously, if you want to stay with something over the long term, you can't do that using tight stops. All right, the Dow is still mud up in this corrective action. Peak here, A, B, C, A wave, A, B, C, B wave. So we're looking for a C wave, possibly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's all incredibly dithery. Not much is happening. It's possible we're seeing a triangle, which would just prolong the agony, as it were, of this thing dawdling along. So this would be wave C of the triangle. So we then get a D, E. But really, there's not much going on that's of any interest at the moment, and so I tend to pass on straight on to Bitcoin. Okay, this is where the wave 4 started. I think we basically got a series of ABCs here. So we've got an ABC 1, ABC 2, A, B, C 3, ABC 4, A, B, C 5. So it's a sort of a rising wave path that doesn't actually overlap, as Mike has mentioned. So if that's the case, we've now started this is wave 5. We've now started a major correction in Bitcoin. I think there's still some hope that we might still probe higher. It's possible this is a 1, this is a 2, so we could see a continuation, extended fifth wave come in. It's not completely impossible at this point in time. It all depends on obviously what happens next. So let's go down and have a look at the shorter term action. Okay, well this looks like a very sharp ABC. This can be counted as a 5, in fact. We've got 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. So that's a piece. So you've got 1, 2, and you have got a potential 5 there. Very sharp sell-off. A couple of spikes coming in. But this is the key level. It goes below 4,000, then I think we've definitely seen the peak for the time being. It's interesting that Bitcoin saw this of the wave 5. The low came in on Sunday lunchtime, and this high came in at around 5 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. So not the most sociable of times to make these major moves. Well, as I mentioned in the WhatsApp room, I did buy some more mining shares. I can't recall that level around the peak. It wasn't at the peak. It was probably about 300, maybe 10% below it. So I've been transferring some Bitcoin out into mining shares, which should just keep producing for years to come. So that would allow us to ride out any kind of a major correction. I wouldn't think we're going to see something. I don't think we see this decimated, but we could certainly see a very sharp shakeout at this time. I think there's a lot more acceptance now. We have seen some of the cryptocurrency companies take on masses more clients, lots and lots of promotions. People like Agora, rather flooding the market with this. So I think there could be enough people to call this a bubble, I guess. I would prefer to see it go higher. I think that would be a stronger case. But certainly we could see as a fairly major correction. I'm not giving out Bitcoin recommendations. I've asked anybody who's interested in trading it just to get in touch and let me have their ideas. I'll happily give them an opinion on what they're thinking of doing, because Earlier in the week we actually had 3 different price levels. IG were quoting one price, Koenji, which is this chart, were quoting another price about $200 higher or lower, I can't remember which, and FX Choice was in the middle somewhere, so like a 200-point price range between the levels. There probably was an arbitrage opportunity there, but it just seemed so wild that it was difficult. But it's very hard to suggest any kind of coherent trading suggestion in markets that seem to be unconnected on the same instrument. So certainly a lot happening. Still remains quite fascinating and extremely profitable. That may well reduce. I think we're going to lose a few altcoins probably once this correction bites. So there will be a decent shakeout with the weak currencies going to the wall. But Bitcoin, of course, Bitcoin Cash is just waiting in the wings. It's now got 8 megabytes on its on the blockchain as I understand it, which gives it much more capacity for trading in size and frequency. So Bitcoin Cash may be the big winner in all this. I'm not quite sure, but certainly I don't expect Bitcoin itself to disappear either. Right, and with that note, I'll call it a day. Hope you found that interesting, useful. Back to reports on Tuesday morning for subscribers. Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.